Yo, welcome back to the second, everybody. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for all that great support on the first and second video, guys. I really appreciate that. And today I'm gonna show you guys a quick video on how to build a side deck better, how to get better at building side decks. I'm gonna show you guys a few good ideas you can utilize into your own decks and own strategies, and I'm gonna make connections with my own deck to show you guys how I utilize this like information. So make sure what you take from this video, make sure that you can apply this to your own decks and you kind of do it that way, you know? It's going to make it a lot easier for you to understand, and it's going to make you a much better player. Alright guys, so the first thing I want to talk about is an engine extension. I just made up that word right now, so I'm going to quickly explain to everybody. No one knows what that means yet. Alright, so what I would describe as an engine extension is maybe like a puzzle piece that fits with your puzzle, but it's not really necessary to complete the puzzle. So Dragon Maid Downtime is a really powerful card against lots of back row decks, but it's really bad against combo, and it's so bad that drawing it against a combo deck makes it like pretty much useless, which you want to minimize the chances of. You want to make your deck as consistent as possible. So putting it in my side deck makes it so that this one of 15 spot on my side deck serves more value than a single one of card that you can draw in a 40 card deck, like unsearchable. Having Dragon Maid Downtime in my deck gives me access to a whole nother resource that I'm able to search out. And same goes with the extra deck. Like if you wanted to play Nightmare Phoenix in your extra deck, which is like a solid example, just because like you would want Nightmare Phoenix against the back row decks, you don't want Nightmare Phoenix against the combo decks. And if your extra deck is so tight, it's like siding that one of Nightmare Phoenix will provide more value than siding a one of Twin Twisters, because maybe the situation to make Phoenix will come up more than drawing that one of 40. Do you guys know what I mean by that? So that's why don't be afraid to put in some engine extensions. I also do side the tiding because it's better going first, and having two in the main deck is good enough for the deck and it saves the consistency. So make sure to apply this to your own strategies. So maybe there's like, for example, in Orchest, how you can search Cycle Reader off of Crescendo, which is a great card against any light deck. How that can be like an engine extension of that. So make sure to understand your deck and know what kind of types, what kind of cards really synergize with your strategy that are part of the engine that you can utilize outside of that. Alright guys, so the next thing I want to talk about is whether you should be playing hate cards or you should be playing flexible cards. In a format where there's lots of decks where we are currently right now, there's lots of different decks that are able to compete. So in this format specifically, it's best to run the flexible cards, because I can apply my Droll and Lockbird against decks like a combo deck like Dragon Link, or control deck like Dogmatica, Invoked and stuff like that. And a card like hate cards are specifically good for when there's like there's a best deck, you know, like everybody builds to beat that deck. So people would side Mystic Minds, people would side Lightning Storms, people would side like there's certain cards like that. Raigeki is just an example as like a you know, just like a role here. You don't think about Raigeki. So like these cards specifically are all great cards that I could utilize that are good against lots of matchups, and also have applications going first and second, because there are lots of different decks choosing different roles and stuff. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is trying to build for matchups. So my deck has a very bad matchup versus Dinos and Shaddolls. Shaddolls I've prepared for in the main deck, and I do have a good amount to side against them. But the Dino matchup specifically is very hard, because once they get going and are able to drop a Conductor, usually it's still like game through my 5 bounces, you know what I mean? Unless I keep my seal for battle phase, but that deck just naturally has ways to beat me. So so that's a specific matchup that I really want to target. That's why I'm siding specifically the 3 Lancia and 2 Droll. Like not only are these cards serving great purposes in other matchups, but specifically because Dino's hard for me, I choose these cards going first because I have a lot to side out. I have Phantasmes to side out for Dinos. I have Nibiru's to side out. Like Phantasme could drop sometimes, but it's usually not that like fantastic. Their win condition will still stay the same. They're gonna set all your shit 5k and then attack for game, you know. So you should be trying to side deck for specifically the decks that you have a hard time with, and whether that be Dragon Link, you throw in some more hand traps in your side deck. You know what I'm saying. Droll's a very good pick this format. I would recommend it, guys. You know, whatever that cause may be, you guys have to build for it and try to solve the problems instead of just complaining. Yuck, couldn't be me. Alright guys, before you even build your deck completely, you need to acknowledge what needs to come out against certain decks and what needs to come in. So because I main deck 3 Phantasmes and 3 Nibirus, these are cards I really want to keep in my deck. They're very fantastic in my deck going first against the mid-range strategies, against the combo strategies, and those are like combo especially is one of my hardest matchups, so I prefer to keep these cards in my main deck. So when I build my side deck, I'm going to think, okay, immediately I want to have at least 6 cards that I could side these out for in the matchups that these will be useless in. So with that, I'm going to be siding 3 Cosmic, 3 Twin. Because like being able to just have like that immediate, like, okay, I know what the game plan is. I need to side out all of these. And even though I want to side in the additional downtime sometimes against the thing, I could just add an additional card in my deck, like Laundry, where it's an engine extension that's not completely necessary, and it's kind of hard to side out in my deck. So I want to have dedicated cards that are going to come in and come out. Sometimes there are matchups where Phantasme is good in, but Nibiru's not. So, you could easily play Phantasme Cosmic. You know what I mean? As long as you have those cards that are ready to be switched out for each other, you should be able to specifically target every matchup that you can. Like at least like the combo decks, the control decks, and the mid-range decks. You want to have like a variety of strategies against each. Alright guys, so the last thing I want to talk about is going to be synergy. Synergy is really important in your side deck. There's lots of side deck cards that are really great cards, sort of like Lightning Storm, Evenly Matched, all that just don't fit into every deck. Just because you have a playset of Evenlies doesn't mean you should be throwing it in every single deck. Because for example, if I tried to play Evenly in my Dragon Maid deck, then it pretty much takes away the battle phase as a resource for me, which is very important for the deck. So that's a card that just does not synergize with my strategy. I'm not interested in playing Evenly Matched. So cards like Lightning Storm conflict with certain decks that, could need to put a card on the field before they really do anything, or have hand traps like Nibiru, Phantasme. Lightning Storm does not synergize with that. So make sure when you're building your side deck, you know what cards synergize with your deck and what cards don't synergize with your deck. Alright guys, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Maybe hopefully you learned something, a thing or two. If you guys really enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe, and thank you for all the feedback that I've been getting on the recent videos. I'm going to be working to make it better and make this channel way sicker for you guys. So anyways, if you guys enjoy it, make sure you let me know, and peace out.